We always like to say we believe in ideologies, and there's a particular ideologies that kind of guides our life. But in real essence, what every human being does is all a matter of interest. What matters to you? Take, for instance, in discourse talking about economies, capitalism and socialism, a lot of people tend to group themselves into these ideologies, even the far left, far right. Oh, I'm a capitalist, I'm a socialist, capitalist is bad, socialism is bad. But the truth is, we all exhibit traits of these ideologies in our lives. What will determine what predominates is our interests, or what matters most to us, or the experiences you've had over a long period of time. Now, say capitalism, for instance. Obviously, capitalism is more of like a market economy. You start a business, you run a business, you make profits, demand and supply. There are some goods which you will sell at a particular price. If the input to bring it in is more expensive, you increase the price. Sometimes, if the demand increases, you increase the price. Capitalism is the whole idea of real estate. And most people own a lot of house, and most people want to own a lot of house. But the thing about it is that you see a lot of people who say, oh, I'm a socialist. They say I'm a socialist, but this person is a heavy investor in real estate. Real estate market is governed on capitalism, but you are not thinking that way because you are making money from it. Same way with someone that says he's a capitalist and owns a family. Now, the whole essence of family is based on socialism. You get married, you have a child. For no reason, just because the person is a child and you love them, you provide for them, you nurture them. Obviously, that's what they deserve. But if truly you want to practice capitalism, when that child is like 18, 20 and they are on their own, you know what a capitalist will do? A capitalist will document every amount he has spent on that child, and they will pay them back. Now, let's look at this from a point of view of owning companies. Nobody will just give you money, even though you have the best ideas. Nobody will say, okay, take this $5 million, go and start your company. Nobody will, even though that's what you need. Think about this thing as a 2-3-year-old. They need to be protected. A 2-year-old, a toddler, even a teenager needs to be protected, need to be fended for, needs how you provide housing for them. You do that because it's human nature for you to do. But you not do that to anybody starting a business, even though they will make money. But what you will do is that you will loan them money, even though your business is good and you make a profit from it. Same thing with raising your child. You are not raising your child because you want them to feed you when you grow up, even though some Africans believe in this mentality. But obviously, winning is not right. But you want to empower the child to be able to grow up and be his own self, be his or her own self, be independent. And that itself, it's a socialist mindset. But someone who says, oh, I believe in capitalism, has a family, has a child. Now, all this aspect of your life is very necessary. You have to do it. There are some scenarios where it's capitalism that works, and there's some scenarios where socialism works. But the only thing now is that when you try to put these ideologies where they don't belong, and for sake of media and sake of communication, a lot of people tend to just box. It's easier that way. It is when you use logic to approach issues, usually science and logic, it sees things in halves, right or wrong, positive or negative, addition or subtraction, multiplication or division, sees it in two halves. But the truth about human life is that it's more like the arts. There's no definite barriers to human development and human beings at a whole. It is all it is never white and black. It is all shades of gray. So when we talk about capitalism, socialism, left, right, it all depends on the interests you want at that point in time. And that is where your interest kind of fits, and that's where narratives kind of go. So usually when I say a lot of people, when in the public discourse, when a lot of people tend to ascribe the reason why some countries, low-income countries, are not developed is because of capitalism, or why some high-income countries are developed because of capitalism and they are not using socialism. Wrong. Even the American system that is capitalist, they still have Medicare and Medicaid and some health insurance, like the Affordable Care Act. That itself is a socialist mindset, but you need it. So you need a mix of both. The UK has NHS. NHS, to a large extent, is a socialist approach, but at the same time, they have the capital market, the stock market, where everything's about the value and the money you make. So whenever we are shaping national discourse, it's always important to not to focus on the ideologies, but focus on the outcome that we want and the interest. Because if you take a part of a society that tend to be capitalists and a part that is socialist, and you now, just because of ease of debate or talking, you now decide to group everything as capitalist, you tend to get it wrong. Same way with economics in developing countries. You see a lot of economic theory or models that have worked in developed countries and are not working in developing countries, and a lot of people, you know, use the capitalist mindset to judge some developing countries. Now, it's not like this mindset is wrong. That's why you see a lot of, you know, low-income countries or some African countries say, oh, IMF shouldn't bring their wrong economies to come and, you know, it doesn't work. Nah, it is the ideology or the model that you are using, which might not necessarily fit the situation that is happening in your country, in your society. So the best approach to any problem, economic problem, societal problem generally, is to approach it is to understand the whole situation on ground, and also the interest of what you want to achieve. Then you can now borrow from different ideologies and different mentalities that will suit the best interest. So always know that in the public discourse of what we do and how we behave, in as much as ideologies just help with categories, it doesn't totally explain what happens. It's better to just break everything down. Similar like the first principle approach. Always break something down into the little concept that makes it up. Then you can work your way up. Thank you. So nobody is all capitalists or socialists. It's based on interest. Thank you.